Hi, parents at Edgewood High School. I'm Patty Jackson, the owner of Clear Inner Focus Education and Coaching, and I was scheduled to talk with you on April 15th. Instead, what I wanted to do is just give you a little overview of what the concepts that I'm going to present in fall, and do that with the intention to help support you in calming down and in being able to make some really good, clear decisions and lead these challenging times for your family. I have four children. My youngest are 23, they're twins, and my oldest is 28 and 26. And I have a lot of stories about parenting high schoolers and getting through those high school years. But today, more importantly, I want to share a couple strategies that will be really helpful in making clear decisions and being able to let go of the things that you can't control, because our decisions today are even more important than ever. They're more immediate than ever. At least that's how I see that, with this COVID-19 virus being a big thing in our world and the threat that it causes to the people that are vulnerable. I'm overwhelmed at the response of so many people and how they are aware that we affect each other. And even though my young adults realize that it's really not going to affect them, the immediate willingness they are to change old habits in order to do things for the betterment of the good. That's what this is about, is habits. So what I want you to know is a few things. First of all, whatever you're feeling is normal, and whatever you feel that isn't pleasant is there because you care. And it's normal human stuff to feel anxiety, worry, stress, fear, all of those things that we're feeling when we're needing to make a decision and change our habits and respond to life in a new way. And these feelings, when you respond to them with what I call your number one most important job, and that is just to take some deep breaths and love yourself and know whatever you're feeling is normal. When you breathe and just know that whatever you're feeling is normal, it calms down the momentum of all of the thoughts, the fearful thoughts that started in our head. Now, we're feeling bad because we're focused on a problem and we haven't gotten our thoughts in line with the solution yet. So the two tools that I'm going to share with you is one called the Clear Inner Focus tool. And what it does is it helps you to just separate from all of the confusion outside you for a minute, bring your focus inside and accept all the things that you're thinking about and all the things you're feeling. Because when you do, you can look clearly at the problem and then start looking at each of those thoughts and asking your heart, what solution do I want to see? So as you do that and you breathe and you look at each thought you're thinking and start imagining the solution you'd like to see, what happens is you start to build a clear inner focus, a clear picture that almost becomes 3D or high definition. Biblically, it's said that whatever you ask for in prayer and believe is yours will be. This is so much easier said than done, but this tool really helps. So the first thing I want to show you is the Clear Inner Focus tool. And then the second thing that's really important to be able to sort through all this confusion inside is the second tool that I am going to give to you today, and give you the opportunity to call in and ask your questions on how do you use this, how do you apply it, and how does it work for you at a later date. But the second tool is called the Defining Your Lane of Responsibility tool. Now, in this tool, what we do is we define what we are clearly responsible for. And since you are leading a family, since you are leading your kids, you define what each of your kids are responsible for. And sometimes you even need to be clear on what your spouse is responsible for. When you let go of all of those other people and get really clear on what you want and what you're responsible for, it helps you know how to respond to the other people and to life and to make decisions. In the Defining Your Lane of Responsibility tool, a really important lane to define, write down, and put in its lane so you don't touch it are the things that God's responsible for. In these times where we're really scared for people's health or for making the right decisions that aren't going to affect us financially and physically and cause problems for our loved ones or the vulnerable people in the world, it's easy to start putting your energy on trying to keep people alive, trying to control this virus, trying to just, even in any of your thoughts, when you really on a piece of paper come back here and let go of that and say, I am responsible for the things I'm thinking, for making decisions. I'm responsible for what I'm feeling. My kids are responsible for the decisions they make. They're responsible for their feelings. They're responsible for figuring out how to navigate their feelings. I might be responsible for supporting them, but I can't support them until I navigate my own feelings. When you sort through the Define Your Lane of Responsibility tool, it makes it a lot easier to be aware of what you're responsible for, take care of yourself first, and then connect powerfully from your connection to your heart and soul's desires. When your thoughts are clear and in line with your heart and soul's desires, I believe that is when the source of unconditional love can really give us the strength and support we need to lead new decisions forward. So if you're with me, what I'm next would like to explain the Clear Inner Focus tool and what's happening, and tell you some stories about how I've already applied this. I apply it all the time, and I just worked with a client who is in a conundrum between going and spending 3 weeks alone with his fiance at a secluded place now that they're both working from home, or to stay in his other area and not see her for 3+ more weeks. So it's a decision to stay with his family where he's been working at a job away from her, or go and spend time with her, and both of them have lots of problems involved in his decision. And he used these two tools in our conversation to be able to make a really clear decision that he's excited about. So, tool number 1 is the Clear Inner Focus tool. It's based on that there are really 4 things that you can control. One thing you can control is your breath. When we get stressed, we often restrict our breath. When you powerfully control your breath, you take deep breaths. It connects your outside world to your inside world. And a really good balance is balancing an awareness of what's going on inside of you with what's going on outside of you. And that you can control. So I'm going to invite you to, if you haven't already, start breathing and feeling the great gift of just taking a deep breath and becoming aware of what's inside and doing your number 1 most important job. Just becoming aware and not judging yourself, but just saying it's okay to be here. These feelings are normal. And I can love myself no matter what's going on right now, no matter what mistakes I might have made, no matter what successes I've had that are way beyond anyone else's. To just take some breaths and love yourself right here no matter what. You are a gift. When you see yourself as a gift, that is when the source of unconditional love can really stream through you. If you think about it, we want our kids to do this. We want our kids to just love themselves no matter what, to understand that some of these teen challenges are hard and it's okay, to understand they're going to feel really bad and it's okay, and they can still grow into who they want to be in the world, even if the short-term problem is not allowing them to have that full self-expression. So you are in control of your breath, and you are in control of the self-talk you give yourself. Powerfully controlling your breath is to give to yourself what you would want your kids to give to themselves. Second thing you can control is your focus. Now, you might already know this and be acutely aware of when you focus too much on a problem, it starts to get you to feel bad. Okay, bad feelings are a great time to do what my book is entitled Flip Your Focus. Get your focus off of the problem right there and get back here and take care of you. Take some deep breaths. Ask yourself, what are you noticing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what step can you take next? In that short flip of taking your focus off of a problem outside of yourself and flipping back here and asking your heart, those few questions, oftentimes you'll become aware of that it's time to stop listening to the radio or TV, and you'll get an inspired action. Okay, now's the time to go and do this. And that's how your inspiration can lead you to be in the best place that you need to be for yourself. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with listening to the news or the radio, but I do know, and I think a lot of people are acutely aware of the fact that when you listen too long and you focus on the problem too long, it's going to start to make you feel really horrible inside. And again, you're in control of your focus. And when you start focusing on something that feels bad, powerfully controlling your focus is to take your deep breath and separate from that thing outside of you and flip your focus back inside. Breathe. Notice what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And then start doing the next thing you're in control of, your imagination. When you breathe, focus inside and accept what's there. It's important to start imagining the solution you'd like to see. Now, it might be a long-term solution. You might not be able to have that solution right now. But as you start doing that, you get into that place of what you're asking for in prayer. What I'd like to see is that I made a really good decision. What I'd like to see is that my loved ones are safe and I can be proud of the leadership I took in this family. What I'd like to see is that if my kids need my counsel, they talk to me and I give them a space to really learn and connect with themselves and make powerful decisions for themselves. Because in reality, your high schoolers are learning to do that so that when they get to college, they've got a great coping mechanism of being able to breathe, flip their focus from problems or from what their peers want, to come back in here and ask themselves, what do I really want? And to be with themselves long enough to look at the big picture, long-term solution they want. Because when you kick in your imagination and get that full, clear, and focused picture, it feels solid inside. It takes you out of the confused and worried thoughts, the stressful thoughts of push and pull, and our ability to go into that worried thoughts and go and focus more and more and more and add momentum to them, so that they weigh on us and they don't quiet down when we're trying to sleep. So by breathing, bringing your focus in and accepting what's in, noticing the worried thoughts and realizing they're there because you care, and it's time to slow them down and start getting focused on a big long-term solution you'd like to see. Using your focus to build that picture, and then your imagination to just imagine what that would look like and feel like. And imagine it so much so that all of that stress is gone and you feel really grounded within yourself. And from that place, you ask your heart, you take a step forward. What is one step I can take in the direction of this? And that is how you make great decisions and lead positive change in the long run. That is how you can support yourself in supporting your spouse and your kids and your parents even during this really emotionally challenging time. So the tool that I'm going to give you is that on a sheet of paper, what you do is you just take a line and write across the top. On the left side, you write, what is it I don't want to be thinking, feeling, and experiencing? Really positive people don't want to look at all the negative thoughts. They're not negative. They are a problem. They are what you don't want. If you look at them from a positive perspective, there's nothing wrong with me that I'm thinking this. There's nothing wrong with me that I'm feeling this. It's here because I care and I'm just not focused on what I care about yet. You put that on the left side of the paper and write them all down. And then thought by thought, you ask your heart, in a future world, a magical future world, I don't have to know how. Making this happen is not all my responsibility. I need the help of God. I need the help of other people. But I'm going to get clear on what I want so I can feel really good. And thought by thought, you find the one that you really want, and usually they're not the opposite of the paper. And then lastly, you ask yourself what you would be feeling. So you look at all the feelings you don't want to be feeling, and it's important to name the feeling. It tames them, it slows the momentum down. And on the right side of the paper, when you ask yourself and you picture what you want, you'll start to feel the confidence, the relief, the trust that you're wanting to feel. So write those down too. It anchors it in, it helps you build a new mindset, and that new mindset helps you lead actions forward. Not only in the one step you can take, but then when new things come in, you'll know clearly the direction that you would like to see this go so you can respond to it in live time with greater confidence than you've ever experienced before. So that last step on the chart is then after you have the clear picture, you've built all of the thoughts and feelings you want, you've imagined it happening, then you ask your heart. What is one step I can take? And your inspiration, your wisdom, the Holy Spirit, if you will give you a step you can take. And then you write that down and you find a way to support yourself in taking that step. This stuff isn't easy. I get it. And even doing this chart can be overwhelming at first. And that's why I'd like to offer a time to meet with me over live Zoom where you can ask your questions and I will walk you through some of the answers. Now, I told you about the young adult client who was engaged and was looking at the conundrum between being at his home place or spending 3 weeks alone with her, and the dilemma he was in between the two places. There are a lot of things in the dilemma, but one of them was just worry about being in the same place together for that much time, just two people alone. A lot of people are going through that. Maybe your parents are going through that. You have teens at home, but your parents might be going through that. It is a big challenge. And here's the challenge that he was aware of. He was aware of the challenge that when they're together sometimes, she is busy, she's in school, she's studying, and he's there, and it's the two of them, and he has nothing to do. And she's busy, and he can't get her attention. And it flares up a really big feeling of agitation and almost a fight or flight. Like, I want to poke at you so that I can get your attention and get you to connect with me, the fight thing, or the flight thing, like, oh, what am I doing? I should never be here. What's going on? And wanting to go far, far away from the problem. Far, far away from seeing, I want attention over here and I can't have it. And so just by looking at that, and I told him this is normal to feel this. Everyone feels this. And it's important to do just what I told you before. Take a couple deep breaths. Become aware of what you're feeling and know it's normal. Know it's not her fault. Know it's not that there's something wrong with you. But just, okay, since she's busy and you can't spend time with her, what would you like to see next? I'd like to spend time with her when she's free. I'd like to have something to do myself. I'd like her to know that when I go and do my own thing, she's okay too. I'd like her to know that when I'm doing my own thing and I really need to finish it, she can handle it too. Once he built that picture, the stress of spending time with her is gone. And how cool, because even though he decided not to go, he now has a new plan for when they're together, for the years ahead. When they hit those lull times, he now knows how he's going to handle those kind of things. So, those are some of the things that your parents might be going through. Those are some of the things that are normal human stuff you might even be going through when you're with your spouse or your kids and they're busy and you're trapped in your house and you want to play. Again, I'm going to give you access to the 2 tools. You can download them and work them through on your own, or I will be here for the live question and answer period coming up. When I meet with you in September, I look forward to giving you more stories and giving you more concrete examples, actually walking people through the tool, and then giving you time to work in group about your particular situations with a coach guiding you so that you can get some of the clarity that you need to build great new solutions for your life ahead of you. Patty Jackson, Clear Inner Focus, Education and Coaching, and I can be reached at patty@clearinnerfocus.com if you have separate questions that you want to email to me. I have a little bit of extra time on my hands, because I'm not out and about and doing workshops like I had been planning to. So I would love to use this time to be of support to people I'm really passionate about, and that is parents. Take care.